dear students, how are you all? I hope you all are good over there as well as learned and read the previous poem, Solitary Reaper, right? Okay. So in our previous poem, Solitary Reaper, William Wordsworth beautifully described the sound, or we can say the singing of a lady who was alone in her field. She was cutting the crops and all. No? So very beautifully he written that poem, The Solitary Reaper, right? Okay. Now in today's class, we are going to learn a new lesson. Which one is that? Uttanka's Guru Dakshina, and this lesson is the most interesting one. Okay, it tells us about a boy named Uttanka and his adventurous travel for certain purpose. Okay, so let us learn about it in detail. So his travel tells us the story. Okay, so here in this lesson, the author Mrinalini Sarabhai, the name of the author is Mrinalini Sarabhai. She was born on May 11th, 1918. Okay, and she is a celebrated classical dancer. Okay, she is a celebrated classical dancer, and she had performed more than 300 dance dramas. Along with that, she is not only a dancer, she had written many novels, poetry, plays and stories for children. She is not only a classical dancer and performed more than 300 dance dramas, she has also written many novels, poetry means poems, plays and stories for children, and because of her contribution she is awarded by the Indian government with the National Civilian Awards. Okay, she is awarded by the Indian government with National Civilian Awards like Padma Bhushan in the year 1992 and Padma Shri in the year 1965. Okay, so the author of this lesson, Uttanka's Guru Dakshina, is Mrinalini Sarabhai, and she was born on May 11, 1918. And she is a celebrated Indian classical dancer and contributed a lot to the field of literature and art. Clear? Okay. So here, this lesson, Uttanka's Guru Dakshina, written by Mrinalini Sarabhai, is taken from one of the stories of Mahabharata. Okay, it is taken from Mahabharata, and Uttanka was a rishi, a sage here. Okay, so that we'll study in detail. First, let us see the pre-reading activity. Let us go for an introduction here. Okay, so many of you like to travel. Okay, many of you like to travel to some of the historical places, or some of the beautiful, cool or calm places, or some like to go for an adventurous trip, right? It differs according to your interest and taste, right? But here Uttanka started his journey for certain purpose and underwent so many adventurous things during his travel. Okay, so that we'll see. Now here in the introductory part, leave home and travel north to some town in Rajasthan. You will see camels in the streets. They will be drawing huge carts laden with goods on their open platforms. The cart will be harnessed to the hump of the camel, drawn by the camel. The cart will be rolling on its four-tired wheels. If you travel to north, okay, or if you go to, or if you visit to Rajasthan, the land of desert, there you can see the camels the most. You can see in the picture here. Okay, so camels in the streets. They will be drawing huge carts laden with goods on their open platforms. You can see there page number 17 very beautifully. One picture has given there which describes this. Okay, the cart will be harnessed or tied to the hump of the camel, drawn by the camel. The cart will be rolling on its four-tired wheels. So if you visit the most important places or most beautiful places, especially Rajasthan. You can see the camels and all these things which described here in this paragraph. Also you can see. You can also see the most beautiful palaces as well as forts. Okay, so Rajasthan is famous for its palaces and forts, right? Okay, so you can see so many things and their way of living. Okay, way of living is different, their culture is different, their food habits are different, their dressing style is different. So everything you can see, the strange people, you may find it very strange because how we live here, how we wear the clothes or what we eat is totally different from theirs, or the people from Rajasthan or Kerala or Tamil Nadu. It's slightly somewhat totally different sometimes. Okay, so here in the next para they write, come down southwards to Thrissur in Kerala. You may see a long row of elephants in front of a temple. The caparisoned elephants will be ridden by men sitting astride on their necks. The bare-chested men will be carrying huge ornamental umbrellas. Okay, so when you come to Kerala, the elephants they are using for certain festivals. Okay, during in front of the temples they decorate the elephants with full of ornaments or some clothes and all. They decorate it with the paints and they carry the umbrellas, ornamental decorated umbrellas they carry in front of the temples, in front of the temples of Thrissur in Kerala. If you come there, if you visit there. Okay, these are the strangest things or the new things you can see, especially in Karnataka during Dasara festival in Mysore also you can see such pictures. The elephants are using with full of decoration. They decorate these elephants with paints or the clothes they use, the ornaments they use. Okay, so all these things you can see in different places. So see here there is the comparison between Rajasthan or Thrissur in Kerala. What is the difference? The camels are using there in Rajasthan. Here elephants are using. You can differentiate in many things, as I told you, their food, their lifestyle, their dressing style, their culture. Everything is different from one another. Here travel is like that. It is seeing strange people and strange sights and perhaps doing one or two adventurous things too. So travel is like that. Why they have given here two examples? Travel is like that. In travel we can meet some strange people, or we can visit most beautiful sights. We can surprise ourselves by seeing some of the things, especially the forts of Rajasthan. Okay, and perhaps doing one or more adventurous things too when you travel from one place to another here. So this is just an introduction to tell us about, this lesson is about a travel of a boy named Uttamka for certain purpose. So now read about an adventurous journey undertaken by a young boy named Uttamka here. So as I told you, this lesson is about a boy named Uttamka who travelled for certain purpose from his school or Gurukula, we can say here. From his Gurukula he travelled to the king's palace to bring something for the sake of his guru's wife. Okay, so what is it? Who is Uttamka? Why he travelled to the palace of the king? We'll see that now. Okay, now students, let us move on to the explanation part. I am going to read paragraph number 1, 2 and 3. Now you have to look at your books and follow my reading very carefully. Okay. So paragraph 1. Once upon a time when the wise men of India dwelt in forest hermitages and made their homes of mud and straw, there lived in one such hermitage a young boy called Uttamka. Many years passed by and he grew up. Soon he had learnt all that his master could teach him. One day he went to his master and said, "Dear master, you have taught me all these years and yet I have never once repaid you. Tell me of some gift I may bring you that will please your heart." Okay, as I told you, this lesson is about a boy named Uttanka. Okay. Once upon a time, long back, when the wise men of India, or the intelligent or knowledgeable people, especially the sages or rishis, okay, they used to live here, dwelt. What is the meaning of dwelt? Living. Okay, so they used to live in forest hermitages. What do you mean by hermitages? Hermitage means a place where a religious person lives. Okay, in olden days, these rishis or sages, they used to live in forest by building a house or of mud and straw. Okay, straw means here bamboo sticks. Okay, so they used to build their houses by using mud and bamboos, and there lived in one such hermitage a young boy called Uttanka. Because during those days there were no schools like today. Okay, it was like a Gurukula system of education was there once upon a time, long back we can see, and these sages or rishis, they were imparting education there in the Gurukulas, and they are living over there. Okay, in one such Gurukula or hermitage, there lived a boy named Uttanka. So as I told you, in olden days, these sages or rishis, they were not living in towns. They used to live in the forest hermitages. That means they used to build their houses by using mud and straw, and used to live there and impart education. The students who want to get some knowledge or to education, they used to go there to the forest and live for certain years there and get education from these sages. Okay. Many years passed by and he grew up. So he was getting education from his guru named Gautama. Okay, the name of his guru was Gautama, and the name of his wife, that means guru's wife, Ahalya. Clear? Okay. So many years passed by. He was getting education. Soon he had learned all that his master could teach him. He was a very intelligent boy and very obedient too. Okay, obedience is very important. The students always should obedient to their teachers and parents, right? Here Uttanka was also an obedient student. He learned everything what his guru taught him very soon. Okay, so one day after many years passed, as he understood that I am going to complete my education here now, he went to his master and he asked his master, he told his master that you have taught me all these years and yet I have never once repaid you. I didn't give you anything back. Okay, so by that time there was a system of Guru Dakshina. After you finish your education, you can give anything to your guru as a repayment. Okay, as a repayment, like the fruits or anything. Okay, so he went there to his master and asked him, all these years you taught me, I learned everything, but I didn't give you anything, so that's why ask me, my master, whatever you want, I will get it for you. Who said this? Uttanka said this to his guru Gautama Maharshi, or the sage Gautama here. Okay, so he asked like that. By that time the guru replied, child, there is nothing that I desire. Go to your mother and ask her. So his teacher, his guru Gautama Maharshi or Gautama, the sage, he said that I don't need anything, I don't desire anything. You just go and ask your mother. Mother means here Gautama Maharshi's wife Ahalya. Okay, Guru mother we can call, because they are leaving their parents and coming and living along with the Guru here in the Gurukula, right? So that's why the Guru and Guru mother they used to call. So go and ask your mother if she desires something or if she needs something. Who said this? The Guru said this. So Uttanka went to his Guru's wife and bowing low before her, asked her if there was anything she desired. So what did he do? He just went near Ahalya, Gautama Maharshi's wife. Okay, he went to her and he bowed low to her with full of respect and asked her if there was anything she desired, anything she needed. Okay, so what was the reply? You see, yes, she replied, yes, I have long cherished a wish to wear the earrings worn by the queen. Go to her, get them for me. In 4 days a feast will be held. I want to wear them on that day. Get the earrings for me and I shall know of your true devotion. So Guru's wife Ahalya replied, yes, I need something, and she said, I have a long cherished, I have a desire to wear the beautiful earrings owned by the queen of that place. Okay, and in 4 days there will be a feast here in our ashram, in our Gurukula, so I wanted to wear those earrings on that day. So please go and get those earrings for my sake. Who said this? Ahalya, the Guru's wife, said this with whom? With the Uttanka. Okay, so I want to wear them on that day. She had that desire to wear those earrings. Okay, get the earrings for me and I shall know of your true devotion. Here devotion means loyalty. What is the meaning of devotion? Loyalty. So she said, get those earrings for me, then only I can see your loyalty towards your Guru and towards me, said by the Guru's wife here. Okay. Now, next up, paragraph number 7. Uttanka, hearing this, was filled with dismay. Nevertheless, he set out through the forest to the city where he knew the king dwelt. Here, the meaning of dismay is fear or anxiety. Okay, he didn't step out of his Gurukula or his Gurukul from so many years, so that's why he had that fear. How to go and how to ask with the king or the queen to give those earrings for the sake of his Guru's mother. So he was totally distressed by hearing the wish of his Guru's wife. Okay, but still, as he asked with her, she told her wish to him. Now it is his duty to fulfill her wish, right? So he set out through the forest to the city. He started his journey through the thick forest towards the city where he knew the king was living. Okay, he knew that the king was living in that particular city only. So he moved, or he started his journey towards the palace of the king. Who started his journey? Uttanka started his journey towards the palace of the king of that particular kingdom. Okay, so he started his journey. Why he started his journey? To get the most precious earrings owned by the queen of that kingdom. Clear? So he started his journey. Paragraph number 8. He had not gone far when he saw a huge bull coming towards him. As it drew nearer, Uttanka saw seated upon the bull a man so large that he drew back in fear. But the man called out, Uttanka, drink this, and he held out a cupful of some kind of liquid. Uttanka turned his head away, but the man said, drink, Uttanka, it will help you on your way. So as he started his journey, he started to move into the thick forest. He had not gone so far. Suddenly he saw that, he observed that a huge bull coming towards him. And he observed as it came closer, he too observed that it is not only a bull, a man, a huge man was sitting on that large bull. Okay, so large that he drew back in fear. He got frightened by seeing that bull and the man sitting over that bull. Okay. But the man called out, but that man called Uttanka in particular, and he said, Uttanka, drink this, and he held out a cupful of liquid in his hand and he asked Uttanka to drink that liquid. Okay, first of all he got frightened by looking at that particular bull and the man seated upon it. Okay, so now that particular man told him to drink that cupful of liquid. Now he's become totally nervous. Uttanka turned his head away. He was not ready to drink that liquid because he did not know that man, right? And he was scared. So that's why he turned his head. He refused to drink that liquid. But the man said, drink, Uttanka, it will help you on your way. Drink this liquid, it will help you on your way, on your journey. So everybody knows that something is going to take place, something adventurous is going to take place. So that's why the gods are also helping Uttanka on his journey. Who's that man seated upon a bull? Let's see at the end of the lesson. Okay. Paragraph number 9. At last he came to the palace of the king. He boldly went inside and did not stop to look about him till he saw the king himself seated upon the royal throne. Sir, said Uttamka, bowing low, I have come from a hermitage in the forest many miles from here. The mistress desired to wear the earrings of the queen on the feast day, and if I do not take them to her, I will lose favor in my teacher's eyes. Okay, so he said like that. At last, he traveled for a long distance and finally reached to the palace. He just entered the palace of the king very boldly, and he saw that the king was seated upon a royal throne, a royal seat, okay, and he just addressed him, Sir, I came from a long distance from a hermitage situated in one of the forest out here, and I came here to collect the earrings of the queen as it is the wish of my mistress. That means master's wife is called as a mistress. Okay, so my mistress desired to wear the earrings of the queen so she could wear it on the feast day. Okay, who said this? Uttamka requested this with whom? With the king. Okay, so he did not look after himself, how he came or entered to the court of the king. Okay, he just went and very boldly he asked the king about all these things. So if I will not take those earrings to my mistress, then I will lose my favor in her eyes. So please give me those earrings told by Uttamka, or requested, we can say, he requested with the king. So we'll end up to here in today's class. The remaining part of the lesson we'll see in our next class. Okay. So up to here we learnt about Uttamka, one of the disciple of the Guru Gautama here, and this Uttamka, the boy, wanted to give some Guru Dakshina to his Guru Gautama. That's why he went and asked with him, but he refused, and he told to ask his wife, and his wife, or the Guru mother, told Uttamka to bring the earrings of the queen. Okay, so he frightened in the beginning, but anyhow he should start fulfill his Guru wife's wishes. So that's why he started his journey towards the town, or the where the king was living. He started his journey. On the way he met a bull, and a man seated upon the bull, and he gave some liquid to Uttamka to drink. First Uttamka refused, then he drank that particular liquid given by him. Finally he reached to the palace of the king, and very boldly he asked the king his Guru mother's wish without any hesitation. Okay, so up to here we learnt in our today's class. Now what you have to do? You have to solve these two questions, right? Okay. So your first question is, the houses of hermitage are made up of dash, and your options are mud and wood, mud and straw, mud and stones. What is your answer? Mud and wood, mud and straw, or mud and stones? Mud and straw, right? Straw means here the bamboo sticks. Clear? Okay. Your second question is, Guru's wife asked Guru Dakshina as dash. What she asked? Money? No. Ornaments? No. What is your answer then? Queen's earrings. She asked the earrings of the queen. Okay, so I know this is a very interesting lesson. You have to read it very carefully. Okay, you have to listen the audio, and you have to read it and understand it without fail. Once or twice up to here you have to read. Thank you for watching.